This is the most fascinating yet intimidating question that everyone is asking right now. What does it take for AI to think like humans? Or even better, I mean, these models already surpassed us in many areas. But there are few capabilities we have that it couldn't internalize. And this kind of breakthrough is what we are expecting. It's called
AGI.
AGI.
What do you define as AGI?
AGI, Artificial General Intelligence.
Before we dive into the experts' prediction of AGI, we must know what current AI can do. And if you want to understand these models extensively, I made a video about it and the link is in the description. Today's AI what we are using is a chatbot and belongs to the concept of artificial narrow intelligence. Its understanding is pure pattern based, where we enter a prompt, chatbot reads it, analyzes the patterns with its neural network and predicts the next likely word. Humans also do this and it's called active inference. But not only words, they're also multimodal with generating images, audio, and video. The inputs you provide in the chat box, whether text, images, or other data, gets converted into tokens, numerical representations that the model can process. These tokens are then fed into the neural network, which is a complex web of interconnected layers that has trillions of parameters, which does the mathematical calculations to predict the next likely output. The mathematical calculations are just statistical principles and algorithms, like matrix multiplications, probability distributions, that learns patterns from vast amounts of training data. The model here doesn't understand in a human sense. Instead, it identifies correlations and relationships in the data to generate new output that are statistically similar, and outputs that we have never seen before. Fundamentally, they just need two things to function: massive amounts of high quality data to learn meaningful patterns, and enormous computing power, typically thousands of GPUs to work in parallel. From the release of GPT-4 to this year, we had witnessed massive improvements in the era of AI. We had problem in their reasoning, chain of thought came as a fix. We saw their lack of decision making, agentic AI wrappers is giving a head start, and the list keeps growing. But these are bound into this language constraint, meaning the chain of thought reasoning, agentic workflows operates only under the language data we train. But humans use various types of communications like gestures, body movements, simple sounds, which clearly shows that they don't have that embodied intelligence or causal understanding or grounded knowledge. These AI will never know about reality if it's not physically presented in it, and humanoids is the solution. We can also create a sandbox environment and train inside, but it is compute heavy and we might face huge scarcity of resources. The path to achieve true artificial general intelligence hinges on overcoming these limitations. To grasp what stands between current AI and AGI, we must first examine what humans possess that remains so difficult to engineer. For instance, our brain conducts 1 quadrillion synaptic operations per second with just 20 watts of power. Whereas if you see with the models like GPT-4, the projected needs require megawatts of power to operate, which is literally million times more than us. We only need a light bulb power to walk, think, eat, and perform multiple tasks. In contrast, humanoids like Tesla Optimus needs 2000 watts just to walk. Human brain also rewires its connections by pruning the weak ones and strengthening the strong ones, and it gets updated on live. This is something that researchers want to achieve with AI in order to develop an efficient way of storing information. Our sensory systems like sound, vision, touch, smell are the most outperforming systems that can't be created just with electric components. Even humans are still figuring out what capabilities they have. So studies are going on with not only understanding the human brain, but how other living beings use it. There was a research conducted on bumblebees that shows how these bees can solve real-world cooperative problems with brain orders of magnitude smaller than us and the AI models. Despite having far fewer parameters, insects display behavioral richness we still don't know how to engineer, and this highlights how little we truly perceived intelligence itself. But here's the universal truth. Every breakthrough is achieved no matter how much time or resource it takes. AGI will be no different. And let's look at what that means in practice. Ex-OpenAI researcher Leopold Aschenbrenner claims that 3 things are needed to create an AGI in his situational awareness paper: computing power, algorithmic efficiency, and hobbling. For example, in 2019, GPT-2 was equivalent to a preschooler who could barely count to 5. Just 1 year later, GPT-3 became equivalent to an elementary schooler who could say stories, write poems with a sign of creativity. In 2022, GPT-4 came into the market, becoming a smart high schooler who can solve real math problems. So this progress of GPT being a toddler to a smart high schooler came within the span of 4 years, clearly outpacing the Moore's law. We have witnessed this rapid advancement through scaling up compute, developing better algorithms, and unhobbling. Unhobbling means removal of certain constraints of AI models that restricts the full potential of it. For example, reinforcement learning is an unhobbling technique. As humans learn many things in our life, it either gives us rewards or punishment, which is called as dopamine and pain. These mental triggers pushes us to do something extraordinary, and we have essentially built a mathematical version of it using Markov's decision process. This process is called reinforcement learning, and it's so powerful that it can beat humans in games like Go, chess, and some others, which requires a closed system with clear rules. LLM reinforcement learning, however, gain rewards on how good it solves the problem with mistakes corrected by human feedbacks. Right now, leading AI labs had implemented the next major unhobbling technique, what researchers call scaffolding. It's similar to how a team of experts might tackle a complex project. To be precise, unhobbling is also a form of algorithmic progress, but it creates a total paradigm shift. This report acts as a proof of concept for AGI, but there are noble researchers who argues that AGI progress can't be accelerated with just scaling and better algorithm, rather a complete change of the architecture itself. This is what Jan LeCun, the Turing Award winner, also says.
We are not going to get to human level AI by just scaling up LLMs. This is just not going to happen, okay?
That's your perspective.
There's no way, okay? Absolutely no way.
He's working on creating world models that introduce a scalable supervised learning. For example, instead of predicting every pixel in a video of a falling cup, the model predicts the concept of the cup breaking. This type of learning is done to learn with common sense that humans have. Complementing this work, other innovations are giving a consistent edge on the drive of AGI, like hierarchical reasoning models, which is actually inspired from the hierarchical reasoning we do. These models use latent space reasoning, where logical steps become geometric transformation of vectors rather than words. This type of design allows to explore complex logics internally without the brittleness of text-based thinking. It uses a low and high level module to approach a problem, with low level focusing on the continuous repetitive tasks and the high level maintaining that abstract goal. Models by this design perform significantly better than the current top AI in contests like ArcAGI, Maze, and Sudoku. So there is a certainty that AI will learn to think like humans, if not better. But what defines this progress is yet questionable. If you have any thoughts or ideas, leave it on the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm pushing this channel to explore more on tech, science, and economics driven ideas, so your support would be truly inspiring to make these videos happen. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in another video sometime in the future.